Welcome to Langrisser's Hall of Heroes, home to the most detailed hero analysis and strategies for Langrisser Mobile. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to some practical strategies to unlock the potential of Matthew, the hero of Langrisser Mobile, chosen by the goddess to lead the Swordsmith Legion in their divine quest. Matthew is one of the protagonists and initial characters in Langrisser Mobile. Just as with Almeida and Grenier, you can strengthen Matthew by upgrading his star rank. But his memory shards are currently only available in the Time Rift stages. However, Matthew is the only hero who has 5 potential class tree types, so you have quite a bit of flexibility when choosing his class and combining his skills. Each of his class trees has its own merits, and you can choose whichever you like. When the goddess questions you after you enter the game, the answers you choose will determine Matthew's final class tree. Since all of Matthew's class trees have the hero class, we'll start by looking at Matthew's hero tree and have a look at his skill sets. First up is Matthew's initial skill, Air Slash, which is a core skill in Matthew's melee form. It is one of the only skills in the game that allows melee soldiers to engage from a distance. Air Slash deals 1.5 times damage, but has a 2-turn cooldown. When Matthew is upgraded to a fighter, he masters Sunshade, a skill that has a 30% chance to restore HP. When upgraded to Swordsman, he masters ATK Command, a passive skill that can stack with his attack and defense buffs of fusion powers. It's a rare skill and must have for all Matthews. Finally, when advanced to Hero, he gets 2 skills. The first is Heritage of Light, which is a fusion power skill unique to the protagonist's lineup, improving both defense and offense, and the second is Sword Dance, which deals AoE damage to all nearby enemies, preventing them from being healed. The skills of the hero tree are quite impressive, so if you choose hero to be Matthew's main class, I suggest you prioritize hero skills. Now let's talk about the hero tree's skill set. I have 2 recommendations for you. The first set is Air Slash, ATK Command, and Sunshade, and the second set is Heritage of Light, Air Slash, and Sunshade, a trade-off between Heritage of Light and ATK Command. Since 2 fusion power skills can't be stacked, I recommend choosing ATK Command when other heroes in the Legion of Glory have a fusion power skill. In terms of lineup, I suggest you choose Hero if you don't have a solid infantry hero. Here's a look at the skills of 4 of Matthew's class types and their skill sets. The first type is Shadow. When you advance Shadow Matthew from Fighter to Ninja, he masters Shadow Raid, the core skill of the Assassin class, allowing him to sneak attack enemies, even with guard present. After being upgraded to Shadow, he gets 2 skills. One is Sneak, another key Assassin skill, which makes Assassin Matthew formidable when he engages in ranged attacks, and the other is Terrain Master. You should choose between the 2 skills based on the terrains of the different maps. I have 2 recommended skill sets for Shadow Matthew. The first one is Air Slash, Shadow Raid, and Terrain Master or Sneak, where he gets to deal range damage and remain an assassin without changing his class path, meaning you won't need to consume a runestone. My second recommendation is Shadow Raid, ATK Command, and Terrain Master or Sneak, where you'll need to upgrade Matthew to Swordsman with a runestone. Since Matthew doesn't have any support skills, that expands his mobility range like Aim or Cold Blood. He won't be too far away from his teammates. Also, his talent is a better fit for a clustered team strategy. So the second recommendation grants 10% more ATK and INT to the whole team. When it comes to lineups, Shadow Matthew is a great choice for the Legion of Glory when there is no one dealing range damage. And he also provides some nice buffs after he masters ATK Command, which will require a runestone. The second type is Strikemaster. When Matthew upgrades from Fighter to Grand Knight, he will gain a new skill, Assault, which is one of the highest level attack skills for Cavalry. Assault also has an added special effect that renders targets unable to be healed. This will have a strong strategic effect when fighting against healers or units with self-healing skills in PvE. When upgraded to Strikemaster, Matthew will get 2 new skills. The first one is Strike, which is a movement skill for Cavalry granting better mobility range. He'll be able to move 8 blocks in a single turn. The second one is Move Again. It's a passive skill that allows Matthew to retreat to a safe place after combat. I have 2 recommendations for Strikemaster's Matthew skill combinations. The first is Assault, Air Slash, and Move Again. The DPS is higher than choosing Strike and Assault, but lacks the wide mobility range. The second combination is Strike, Air Slash, and Move Again, granting Matthew a wider mobility range, and is a better choice when you need to deal with an enemy separated from its teammates. Since Cavalry often wander from their teammates, passive skills such as ATK Command don't suit them very well, which is why I don't recommend wasting any runestones on gaining ATK Command. If you don't have any decent cavalry heroes yet, Strikemaster Matthew is a good choice due to its high attack damage. Air Slash, which can be launched from a distance, makes him more flexible in combat. March or retreat. It's your decision, Commander. The third type is Strikemaster. First, he gains the skill Wind Whisper once his class changes from Fighter to Dragon Knight. This skill allows him to deal damage to nearby enemies and debuffs each target. To achieve the best results, he needs to get behind enemy lines. After being upgraded to Strikemaster, he'll get two new skills. The first one is Gale, a passive skill that is pretty amazing. It will give Matthew a chance to attack again right after attacking. The second skill is Sprint, which is the key skill of Matthew's Strikemaster class tree. Combined with ATK Command, it allows you to attack quickly while delivering ATK and DEF buffs along the way. And it also provides immunity from mobility reduction effects. There's two recommendations for Strikemaster Matthew's skill sets. One is Air Slash, Gale, and Sprint. Sprint will increase the mobility of Matthew's teammates while allowing Matthew to use Air Slash to deal damage from a distance. This will be useful when you need to finish a battle before time runs out. The other one is ATK Command, Gale, and Sprint. You need to spend one runestone to claim ATK Command by upgrading a Swordsman, which means giving up Air Slash in order to buff your team. As for the lineup, you can consider using Strikemaster Matthew on any stage where your team needs to cover a long distance, and since terrain types won't be an issue for Strikemaster Matthew, he serves a good decoy in the Timeless Trial. The final type is Ranger. He'll get Snipe after being upgraded from Fighter to Sniper. Snipe has a 50% chance to nullify an enemy's attack during the next turn. It's not only of great strategic importance in PvP, but also of critical importance when fighting tough AoE mages in PvE. After being upgraded to Ranger, Matthew will get two new skills. One is Roundabout, which is a key skill for all archers. It allows Matthew to return to the protective range of his team's tank after attacking. The other is Deathmatch. This passive skill gives Matthew a great advantage when fighting against melee heroes at a distance. There are two recommendations for Ranger Matthew's skill sets. The first one is Air Slash, Snipe, and Roundabout. Two active skills, plus a passive skill, is the most conventional and practical DPS skill set. The second one is Snipe, ATK Command, and Roundabout, which is a team-oriented skill set. You'll need to spend a runestone and become a swordsman to get the ATK Command skill. As for the lineup, you should consider Ranger Matthew when the Legion of Glory lineup lacks a range damage dealer. It's better to get ATK Command from the Swordsman branch if you're using a clustered team strategy. Well, that's all for today, Hall of Heroes. Next time, we'll talk about Matthew's equipment and soldier selections. See you next time!